Morning, Year 5s. So, it is our reading task today. It's Professor Pattern Sniffer and Golden Retriever. So we're summarising, we're ordering events. And the text today is across 2 pages. And it's about Everest, some very interesting facts about Everest. The task today is very similar to that one we did in class just before lockdown, where we had were they Viking graders. I gave you potential chapter titles for each verse, and you had to look at the vocabulary, pick out parts, and then think which title would summarise that section appropriately. And you said it was you enjoyed that a lot more than simply numbering. You do have to simply number things sometimes, but you said you enjoyed this one more. So I've tried to make one for this. Now, the problem with this is there might be some potentially different plausible answers, and that's fine. But that means I'm not going to be able to respond to them. Okay, so if you're looking at your work and think, oh, I've not done that one, I'm not going to say for many of them it has to be this one. There are some that make more logical sense. But let's have a look. So there are 7 here. Number 3, a dangerous place, I've already included. That's one that's already used as an example. Look, so a dangerous place is there. What I've done is I've written down all the ones on the task, and I would just tick them off when I've done them. Okay. So otherwise you've got to be scrolling up and down all the time. All right. So that one's going to be number 1, and I've ticked it off because I know I've used it, and I'm just going to number them as I go. So let's have a little read. So a dangerous place. So we know a dangerous place is going to be that first paragraph there. Sometimes 2 paragraphs might be the same thing. We'll have a look. So what you've got to do is you've got to skim read here. Now, I'm going to do what Tyrese did, and I'm going to look at the last one and see whether, so body to adapt. Those climbers who reach the summit of Mount Everest achieve a great dream. So I would say, if you've reached the top, you're not nearing the summit, I think you're on top of the world. So I'm going to say that is the last one. So I'm going to say on top of the world is the final one. And I think that's quite a good thing. Ooh, I've just spotted another one actually. Whilst we're down here, climbing higher. No. Let's carry on. That could be a couple of things. So, if we have a little read and skim read of this, we can start to have a little look. People with cerebral palsy, hypoxia, they become confused, and not where they are, what they're doing. People who recover from this type of hypoxia remember going into a trance-like state. So that whole section is about your judgment being impaired, being confused, going into a trance-like state, and a lot of people not recovering. So that potentially, I'm going to put vision or visions as number 2. Put a little question mark there. You might have had number 2 for that one. This is what I mean. You might not have. But you've also got to think, well, which one would it go to? Would it fit with one better? And if not, then it probably goes with that one. So they're basically summarising the paragraphs. Research is underway to find out more about the effects of altitude on the human body. Ooh, hang on then. If we're on about research, that's going to be the search for answers then, isn't it? Potentially. Maybe. Looking through scientists, larger lungs, the more oxygen. Lungs and air, oxygen, blah, blah, blah. Adjusting to your body to thin air, allowing you to get your oxygen is vital for what climbers do. So this is about adjusting to the lower levels of oxygen. So as you keep skim reading, you might see a key word towards the end. This shortens the amount of time a climber has to acclimatise to the thin air. So this is explaining how base camps have changed. Maybe more people struggle because they've not given themselves enough time. You'll notice one of them, it's time to acclimatise, which means to get your body correct for where you are. And it's a question mark. So, is there time to acclimatise? So I'm going to say that one is number 4. Okay, okay. See, the body reacts. We've already got things about the body. Let's see. Let's see if it's further down. So we've got the climb there. So this one's called the climb. Steep glaciers climbed in early morning. I think that's still part of the climb, to be fair. So that one goes on there. Climbing higher. One faces further risks such as acute mountain sickness. Would that be nearing the summit, would you say? Is there anything about getting even closer? prepare for their attempt. It takes time for the body to adapt, but eventually climbers make it up to the high camps and prepare for the attempt to the summit. So I would say that one is nearing the summit. So I would go number 5 is number 5. So we've only got the body reacts. Now where might that one go? Climbing higher, acute mountain sickness, headaches, dizziness, trouble sleeping, nausea, reluctant to drink, sufferers begin to have problems with their balance and coordination. That sounds like your body reacting. That's not just having a vision, that is your body sounding like it's shutting down or getting confused. So I'm going to say that the body reacts is this one here, which would be, oh, hang on, I've put in the wrong order now, haven't I? So, nearing the summit is after that. So nearing the summit is 6, the body reacts is 5. Okay, so I'm going to say it's that order. Now, what I might do is I might just go and check. Now I've got them, because I put them as question marks. So let's have a look. So it starts with a dangerous place. Number 2 is then visions, and I've decided to put that one there. Lack of oxygen to the brain, going to a trance-like. So I agree, that one's visions there. Number 3 is search for the answers. Research is underway. Well, that's got to be searching for answers then, hasn't it? 4 was time to acclimatise. So all of that's the same paragraph. It's on about the change of base camp and whether that it shortens the time to acclimatise. So number 4 is that one. Then we've got the climb. That one's already sorted. And I think that one probably goes with it. We're still talking about the climb, describing what happens. Climbing higher, it then talks about dizziness, losing appetite, reluctant to drink. I think that one is number 5. Is number 4. The body reacts. Shortness of breath. So that's all part of that one. This one here is then nearing the summit. And then the final one, on top of the world. Tricky one today, guys. And I think in class we'd have been having a lot of discussions about different ones that people have put. But I think there's enough evidence in those paragraphs there to warrant saying that these are plausible for each of those. Okay? So great work with that. Don't worry if you didn't get all of them, but there were clues in each paragraph.